Well, congratulations to our number 3, Barbara. You did a tremendous job. And Pam Tall, National Sales Director, we all welcome you. We are so excited about your new promotion. It's my privilege to introduce you to the number 1 Sales Director at the Emerald Seminar. Dawn signed her beauty consultant's agreement in 1986. And she debuted as a sales director in 1988. She has driven Cadillacs every year since 1989. She was honored as the monthly Go Give in January of 2000 and has personally appeared in the Consultants Court of Sales and Recruiting. Dawn has appeared in the Circle of Achievement 3 times and the Circle of Excellence 10 times. And has reached the prestigious $1 Million Club 2 years in a row. You're right, that's pretty incredible. She has a wonderful husband, Larry, and 2 beautiful children, Allie and Jake, that you met last night. And she has been an incredible role model for my national area and really for the Mary Kay world. She'll never know how proud I am of this moment to introduce her as the number 1, the Queen of the Emerald Seminar. From Canton, Michigan, will you please welcome our Queen, Dawn Otten-Sweeney.
And now let's welcome her $1 Million unit.
You know that teamwork will make the dream work. Working together, working it through, doing it better. Whatever we do, it takes teamwork to make the dream work. Dreaming real big, setting our goals. It's $1 million to 1 shot, but we're ready to go. There'll be no stopping once the work's begun. We're running $1 million in 1. Here we come.
Wow. I'd love to start first by expressing my gratitude to those who God has used to lead, mold, and support me on my journey. First, I thank God for choosing to use me. I'm humbled to say that without him, I truly would not be standing here. He has made it evident to me that he doesn't need as much of my help as I had originally thought. In fact, after starting this year in Europe for 3 weeks on the extended director's trip because of 9/11, and then 8 weeks of double pneumonia, and then setting my business and life on hold in June to prepare a very brave little boy for open heart surgery June 26th, I know with every fiber of my being what Mary Kay means when she intended for us to live with God first, family second, and career third. To my unit, thank you for following me, for trusting my leadership. I pray that this is a defining moment in your future and the choices that you make. To my 6 offspring directors this year, thank you for making a hard decision to work by faith versus sight. Thank you. To Debbie Moore, who warm booked me in a mall 16 years ago, thank you for being a visionary leader, my mentor, my cheerleader, and friend as you celebrate your 25th anniversary with Mary Kay Cosmetics. Know that you have enriched my life and my family's life forever. To Tom Watley, I thank you for being a corporate president with a heart. Thank you for calling me hours after Jake's surgery. Our nation desperately needs more leadership with a heart and integrity like you beautifully exemplify. To Carolyn Dickinson, Mike Strong, and the Emerald team and the Mary Kay corporate staff, thank you for your untiring support of the infrastructure that's keeping Mary Kay's dream alive. To Pam Tull for being a gracious queen and a great example for me to follow. To Kathy Halou and Sue Ubel for sharing your faith with me. You have changed my life and my family's life for eternity. To my children who came home from the hospital in pink Cadillacs, I love you to affinity. And to my husband of 15 years, thank you for giving me the freedom to grow into who God has intended. I appreciate you, I respect you, and I love you. And to Richard Rogers and Mary Kay's family that continue to stay committed to fostering Mary Kay's dream, I think we should all pray daily that God continues to give them discernment and clarity as they're leading Mary Kay's mission into the next century. Really, the only thing that could have made last night any better was to have Mary Kay there holding my hand as I took the throne. I remember 16 years ago, my first seminar, sitting with Debbie Moore's unit when Mary Kay came out on the stage and just crying for no reason and knowing that this was where I was supposed to be. And this is exactly what I was supposed to be doing. I was 23 years old. I had recently graduated from the University of Michigan with a business degree. I was asked to be a face model while in a mall. I attended a star event and spent the first half really feeling sorry for the women who were inexplainably excited about wearing sashes, crowns, and carrying roses. In my snotty, closed-minded corporate head, I felt that I had experienced that pomp and circumstance when I was in a sorority in college, and I felt that these women were just growing through it at a different stage of their life. But then I went into a different room and I heard the director's eye stories, and I was immediately captivated by the culture, seeing women of all different backgrounds, educational levels, ages, personality types, body shapes, colors. Being successful was so refreshing when they came from all those different backgrounds. The business school I went to, if you didn't wear a blue suit, white shirt, and maroon tie, you weren't going to get a job. And in corporate America, still today, you have to fit into that culture generally to be successful. In Mary Kay, you becoming the best you can be so that you can pass it on is our culture. I definitely made a hard decision that star night to submit my agreement because in my head it didn't make a lot of sense. I had grown up in Michigan. I had moved to Cleveland 9 months earlier. I was working 60-plus hours a week in retailing that I had been recruited for out of college. I was engaged. My husband was being trained to be a Border Patrol agent, and we felt quite confident that Cleveland was not going to be the station he was assigned to. My friends were less than supportive. My parents, I think, wondered why they had educated me to sell lipstick. I was shy and, in fact, hadn't taken a speech class in college because the thought of talking to 25 strangers was paralyzing. My credit cards were maxed, and I didn't have $100 in my checking account. Other than that, it was perfect timing. I'm so grateful that Debbie Moore got down on her knees in front of me at that guest event and cupped her little ringed fingers around her eyes and said, "Put your blinders on. What do you have to lose?" Looking back 16 years now, I realize I had so much to lose by not saying yes that night. I signed that night with the post-dated check, found another credit card that would loan me some money, placed a Sapphire Star order, held a perfect start, quit my job 2 weeks later, got married, and moved to Douglas, Arizona. During those first 2 years of my business, we lived in this town of 9,000, half English-speaking, and I speak as much Spanish as Tom Watley. My husband was making $14,000 a year before taxes, and he says he eats more than $14,000 a year. I learned that it does not matter what geographic location you are in, nor how big or small the town, or what your personality is, as long as you will ask one more person to try our product, and as long as you can flip, squirt, and smile, and say which set's best for you. There's no greater job security than working for yourself in an economy-proof business. And in the United States, there are three: alcohol, tobacco, and cosmetics. I sold $32,000 in a year in Douglas, Arizona, and earned my Grand Am, and then Larry was asked to train at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, so we moved to St. Simons Island, Georgia. There were no sales meetings being held within 2 hours of that geographic location, so I went through DIQ in the first few months of directorship using the skincare classes as the vehicle to recruit and train. I look back now, and that was a gift. A Mary Kay business that is based on a skincare class has a solid customer base, it is financially lucrative, and it is relatively unaffected by the economy. Thank you, Daleen White, for instilling that in me early in my career. 3 months after arriving on St. Simons Island, I became a director, then 9 months later won the Cadillac, and our first year as a unit achieved the $450,000 unit club. The middle of my second year as a director, our first baby was born. And in his 2-week checkup, they shared with us that he had a congenital heart defect called tetralogy of flow that would require open heart surgery sometime in the future. At his about 3-month stage, he went into TET spells, which means that he would lose consciousness after turning blue, and we were in intensive care in Jacksonville, Florida for 3 days. In the middle of May, left our home in the middle of the night, were then air ambulanced up to Ann Arbor, where he had a successful surgery at the end of the week. This was a defining moment in my Mary Kay business because my husband, in a secure federal position with retirement and those golden handcuffs that so many people stay in jobs in corporate America for, like insurance, he had to take vacation without pay. That was before the Family Security Act, but in Mary Kay, I had directors driving in and taking over my sales meeting to help my people out. Also, because of my Mary Kay business, when they said, your son can have 2 open heart surgeries in Jacksonville, Florida, or if you get him to the best surgeon in the world in Ann Arbor, he will have 1 as an infant. Which is better for you? The choice was a $7,000, $15,000, or $20,000 air ambulance. Which is better for you? You guys, how many Americans make choices on their medical decisions and educational choices based on what their employer deems their time or their spouse's time? That is so sad. When you purchase a Mary Kay Showcase, know that you lose the freedom to say you can't afford something. You can only say that you're unwilling to work for it. And I was willing to sell as many basic skincare sets and share this opportunity with as many women as I could to pay for that air ambulance and put my son in the airplane. 24 months later, my daughter was born. And then at my husband's 10-year anniversary as a federal agent, he got to that point where getting up, going to work, coming home, watching TV, eating dinner, going to bed, getting up, going to work was intolerable because he was being asked to make choices in his position that were contrary to his value system. If you live with someone that's miserable, you know it's impossible to go from your miserable box that you spend 50 to 60 hours a weekend and jump into your happy box at home and then be miserable and jump back and be happy. It spills over into every arena of your life. I am so grateful that I have worked my business around my life for the 10 years prior to that, so that at his 10-year anniversary as a federal agent, he could leave a $75,000 a year job and say, you know what, it's been great, but I'm done. I'm starting my own business, and Mary Kay can purchase a home for us, pay for our kids' private school tuition, and move us back to Michigan, which is where our family was at. Again, how many Americans live in the cities where their job dictates, far from friends and family? And how many husbands or men sacrifice their health and the time with raising their children for paychecks? Life now, for the last 6 years, has been 2 parents in the home working around their family schedule. When Mary Kay says, God first, family second, and career third, you know what? You're going to have to make some choices along the way to get to that point, but there is no better way to live. This is how Americans really worked to retire, but Americans don't retire anymore, do they? They get downsized, they lose their jobs, or they can't retire. In Mary Kay, you can have that quality of life for your whole life versus working to have something that you'll probably never achieve. I guarantee you that your journey will look much different than you may expect it to right now. But I also guarantee you that in retrospect, it will make a lot of sense. I'd love for you to close your eyes for a second and not go to sleep. Close your eyes, and then in your head, fast forward your life 5 years. Okay, you fast forward your life 5 years, and keep your eyes closed, but open up your mind. Does that make sense? I want you to picture 5 years from now. Where are you waking up in the morning? What does your bedroom look like? Is it the same bedroom that you woke up on before you headed to Dallas, or is it a different one? Different one? I want you to go into your closet. Is it the same wardrobe, or is it a different one? I want you to pick out an outfit. Is it the same one that you're wearing right now, or is it a different one? I want you to get dressed. You are going on a trip. Come downstairs, have breakfast, sit around with your family. I'm not going to even go there and ask if it's the same one or a different one. You are getting ready to go on a trip. Where are you going? Italy, Hawaii, Switzerland. Okay, your bags are packed. You open up the garage door. What kind of car are you getting in? It just happens to be the 15th of the month. Your commission check was just deposited. What does it look like? 20,000, 25,000. Really, in 5 years, it's going to be 100,000 plus. It could be. Open your eyes. You guys, did your neighbors have different answers than you? They did. Because you know what? God doesn't place the same dream in your heart. Because God hasn't given you all the same gifts and talents and abilities. If you have the ability to dream it, God's given you the ability to achieve it. He's waiting for you to take a step out in faith before he's going to provide the resources for you. That is his way, dreaming of opening up the curtains and saying, this is your life. This could be your life. I'm waiting for you to take a step out in faith and walk in faith versus sight. It is not an accident that you are here right now. And Mary Kay, in this moment in time,